Hello and welcome to Who Asked, the most inconsequential show on the internet.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Aaron.
Aaron, why don't you explain what we're doing here?
Well, we talk about random things on the internet, debatable topics, slip in some cool psychology stuff, all mixed with discussion about everyday life.
Basically, we want to share with you guys our thoughts and opinions on absolutely anything or everything, despite the fact that nobody asked.
That's exactly right. And we're going to start this episode off, and probably most episodes, with a would you rather. And that would you rather is, would you rather be able to fall without hurting from any height? So for example, jump off the top of the Empire State Building, land on the ground, you're fine, or be able to sprint forever. In gamer terms, no fall damage or infinite sprint.
Ooh, that's fun. I like that.
It's a tough one.
No fall damage, or I can sprint forever. But, can I only sprint at, a certain speed? Can I just get faster and faster without getting tired? Or...
I mean, it's not like you can sprint as fast as humanly possible. It's the speed that you can run right now as fast as that is, but just you don't get tired at that pace and you can just keep going. So theoretically, you could sprint a marathon and be fine.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. Actually, I do know. I favorite superhero has always been the Flash. Always has been. Always will be. Any running related superpower, I'm definitely about that.
Interesting. I found the question interesting because no fall damage, being able to fall from whatever height you want, sounds really good. That is a really interesting concept to hear, but I just don't know how useful it is. You know what I mean?
But then, there's some physics stuff in that. It's how, if you jump off of something and, kills you, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop and hitting the ground. So then there's all these crazy physics equations that now factors into this. Is there other things can I run directly into a wall and not get hurt? Can I punch something really hard and it not get hurt?
I don't think this is the type of conversation to be thinking about the physics. It's we're totally hypothetical here. I don't think we can really delve into that.
I need to get these ground rules in order to figure out what I would want.
Well, I'm pretty sure being able to sprint forever doesn't mean you can't get hurt when you sprint into something. I'm pretty sure that would still hurt. Yeah, I don't.
No. I mean, with the whole thing, when you fall and you hurt yourself when you fall, it's the sudden stop that hurts, that makes you feel pain, not the whole big fall itself. Wouldn't that apply to running into something and getting running into a wall and getting hit by a wall? If I'm not taking quote unquote fall damage, what can I then with that superpower run into a wall and have that sudden stop and not get hurt?
What's the point of that?
Because then you could be not super strength, but unhinged strength. You can be punching things and not getting hurt. You can be
I guess that's true, but it's you still can't break things that you couldn't break before. You can't break concrete just because you don't feel it anymore.
Well, wouldn't if you jumped off of a building, wouldn't your legs shatter on impact? If you're quote unquote not getting hurt by that, then that force has to go somewhere. It's probably going to hit the concrete. The concrete's not just going to there's energy in this system that's
I can't believe
not
you right
going
now.
somewhere.
I can't believe you.
I know we took physics 2 years ago. I know we took physics 2 years ago, but this is what I remember. This is the stuff. You can't.
It's almost
tell me.
Almost like the force doesn't even happen. It's almost like it doesn't even exist, or your just legs are super able to absorb that damage. I don't care how you think of it. I don't. You just don't get hurt when you fall. One thing that is good about that is that you can just try some really crazy ass shit.
Like what?
In my French class in high school, we watched this documentary about this French dude that tightrope walked across from one world tower to the other before 2001.
Yeah.
And obviously to do that, you have to hold this big... Firstly, it was illegal. He had to sneak up there because it was super illegal. You can't do that. But in order to do anything like that, you have to be holding a long-ass pole. to like it because it makes it harder for you to fall, like a lot harder.
Oh, it's like some balanced stuff, right?
Yeah, some shit I don't know about, but you could do that. You could try that without the thing. You could just try like setting up a rope across 2 buildings and just fucking sprinting. It doesn't matter if you fall because you just get up. You're like, well, all right, I'm going back up. And that would be fucking fun. You could do all sorts of crazy shit without any consequences that no one else would ever even try. Like I always say I would never go skiing somewhere that's out of bounds or anything like that. But I mean,
like you're scared you would fall.
Yeah, because you don't know what's in the backwoods when it's not groomed. You get caught on a route, you fall into a tree well, which is like a round tree. If there's really a lot of snow and you go close to a tree, there's like you can fall into like a little hole, a little ring around the tree, and then you're just kind of like encased in snow that's like very, very high. But
yeah,
I think
that makes sense.
Maybe no fall damage wouldn't make me want to do that. But anyway, the point is that you could just be really risky.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I see that opinion. I totally disagree with it though. If I can run anywhere and not get tired, and like at a full sprint and not get tired, I can like not have to use a car and go places. I imagine the amount of money you'd be saving. Being able to go places without having to like worry about how to get there, because you're so like well equipped to get there yourself.
Infinite sprint could save the world. Infinite sprint can stop
that's unlimited
global
energy.
warming.
Back to physics, easy. I'm not even studying physics, and like that's a huge thing. But there, done. If you disagree with me and you still want no fall damage, go for it. But apparently my superpower would save the world. You're welcome.
I mean, but if your superpower could save the world, why isn't the Flash like? Why isn't the Flash doing something like that already?
The Flash is a fictional superhero, not a real person.
Hey, look,
you know there's a difference between real life and fiction, Aaron, right?
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I guess it would be kind of boring in a superhero universe for them to be like, you know what? Let's stop fighting crime. Let's do some physics stuff. This is the green episode of The Flash. Man. Yeah, I just think
I win.
Even aside from the grant stuff, like there's a lot of amazing stuff that comes from being able to sprint forever.
Well, yeah,
like, it's 100%. Just so useful.
Definitely.
I mean, I like there's a part of me that as a soccer goalie wants to take no fall damage and just train to jump really fucking high.
Dude, oh my god, do you play soccer? That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's the crazy thing about you that I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm a collegiate athlete.
Wow. Look at you.
Yeah.
How many minutes do you have on the field, Eric?
Let's and on to the next thing, you know what I mean?
And just like that.
Yeah, so it looks like we chose infinite sprint over taking no fall damage. And if you disagree,
that was my original choice, just so everybody knows. I won that. This is a competition, I'm not winning.
Also, I was also going to choose infinite sprint, but thanks for being a fuckwad. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Don't hop on the bandwagon, see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know where we'd be without your douchebaggery. And if you disagree, you think no fall damage is better than infinite sprint, fuck you. This is our podcast.
Yeah, you're wrong. This is our podcast, and we make the rules, and you're wrong. We win.
Yep. Sorry. You're listening. We're talking. All right. So we're going to move on to the next thing we want to cover on this episode. The first episode. Very cool. And this is going to be our
Thank you for setting the scene, Aaron. I feel really immersed. I feel like I'm really...
I can't do anything with you. I literally can't do anything. There's nothing I can do.
I mean, like it, just in case I paused it and replayed it again, like, oh man, what episode is this? And then Aaron is just like, man, just reminding you guys, this is the first episode. I'm like, oh, thank God Aaron told me this was the first episode. I'd be so lost.
I know. Some people just, they don't really know what's going on in their world. And I'm here to hold their hand. You know, I'm here for that.
Thank you, Aaron. We'll do something for you. We'll make a day. We'll
statue,
make a
maybe?
holiday, something.
I really appreciate a
probably.
statue.
Probably. Statue of you, probably with a soccer ball, because you play soccer.
Yeah, way to come back to the
And you
same
have a
joke.
whole lot of minutes on the field, right?
Way to come back to the same joke again. That was really cool. That was really cool and creative.
All right, so you want to move on to the next thing?
Let's move on to the next thing. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be our little psychology tidbit, and there's not really a term for this, but it's a process, a developmental process when you're really young. So when a baby's really young and they're first learning how to crawl, they don't know their crawling abilities. So they can't tell if a slope is too steep to crawl down or if they're just going to fall if they try. So what do they do when they reach, a slope like that? They yeet themselves over the slope. They go over the cliff because they have no idea.
Really?
So, yeah, that's exactly what happens. And it's the same thing with walking. If a baby just learned how to walk and they, you have a slope in your house or something, or then, you're walking out in public and there's a hill, the baby will come up to the hill. He'll be like, he or she or they or them. Let me be clear. I don't know why I said he, but the baby will walk up to the slope, be like, fuck it, and just go. Just head first, boom.
Yeah, I can just imagine the baby just coming up to like a very steep hill and just like take a look around, a little left, a little right, and just be like, yeah, this is flat. This right here, this is flat. Let's go. And then just yeets itself off.
Yeah, no, I'm stepping. I'm yeeting. YOLO, you know what I mean? Babies are
Also,
all about YOLO.
I can imagine just like a tidal wave of babies, just like a hill, and just whoosh, and just like you're at the bottom of the hill. There's a shadow that blocks out the sun. And it's just like, oh no, the babies, they're learning depth perception, and it's this huge tidal wave of babies falling down the hill.
It's the baby stampede. Honey, you wake up in the morning. Honey, where did our kid go? Where did Charles go last night?
Oh no, is it May 3rd? Yeah, what? Oh no.
He's joined the stampede. Don't try and find him, honey. He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone for life. And the baby stampede is coming across America. It's taking America by storm. It starts in New York and it wipes out everybody. It's the baby apocalypse.
Oh, it's not a holiday. It's like a
No.
warning. It's like
No, this is the end of the world. Babies will take over the world.
I thought this was like a yearly thing. It's like a one-time thing.
I'm talking about a baby with infinite sprint.
Oh no!
who reaches a hill that is too steep.
It's not that it doesn't take fall damage. It just doesn't have respect for fall damage. It can't perceive the depth perception, and it has infinite sprint. There's no stopping it. It's an unstoppable killing machine.
Yeah, this is the problem. The wave of babies reach the hill and they fall, and they have perpetual motion, and they're just going and going, and they create a wave of babies that cannot be stopped or overcome.
Another source of renewable energy.
It is a source of renewable energy. The only problem is it wipes out every human in existence. Like I said, it starts on the East Coast, and it gathers momentum until it reaches the West Coast, and everybody has died in its wake. It's like, you hear rumbling sound like...
It's just like a Midwestern family, like out in the countryside, just like, it's like really quiet, and you kind of hear the rumble, like, Sandra, do you hear that? No, honey,
a plate on the table starts to shake.
It's just like and it crashes onto the floor. It's like, oh my god, no, they're coming. Lock the windows, close it. Oh my god. And it's just like,
kids, get inside.
And you hear in the distance, they're getting closer. Run. Just the tidal wave, the stampede across North America. It's an event. It's
just wipes out
catastrophe.
it wipes out their entire fucking house. They go into the shelter that's below their house, usually for tornadoes, but now it's the baby wave, and they and they come back upstairs, and their house is literally destroyed, and there's a fair few amount of baby corpses, but the wave continued.
Yeah, and you could hear it back in the
and these people,
the cacophony, the absolute just blaring noise of billions of babies just goo goo gaga-ing as they tumble over each other and not understand what an incline is.
Yeah, they've stopped crying. They've come to peace with their tumble. They now just goo goo gaga, and these people, this family, are now the main characters for the new movie about the post baby wave apocalypse.
Yeah, If that was like a book, I'd read that.
I totally would not.
Obviously, I'd watch it if it was a movie, but like I'd 100% read that.
I would not. Just to be blunt. What the fuck would happen then? Babies wiped out all of America. They're fucked.
Yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic scenario. That's just what it is.
But this is the perfect apocalypse. They wiped out. Everything's gone. Everything. These people just starved to death. They're fucked.
It'd be a bold movie. It'll probably win an Oscar or something. That'd be dumb.
Yeah, just for the sheer brilliance of the concept. You're welcome, America.
If anyone uses this concept, you have to credit us.
TM.
His dad's a lawyer.
TM, trademark. Boom.
Yes, because you could just throw the letters TM onto anything.
I did it. I just did it. It's a thing now. I did it.
Getting back to the psychology part of it, that's really interesting. I remember learning about like developmental stuff in school, but like, do we know when this depth perception thing happens, or it's just like babies, and then like when they're not babies, they get the depth perception and they don't walk off the cliff?
Well, it's less about depth perception. It's just like It's just like getting a grasp of your physical abilities.
Bold like, you to assume I have a grasp of my physical abilities now.
That's fair. I have seen you in real life. Coordination not high. Not high.
Okay, I may not be on the soccer team, but at least I have the same number of minutes of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, count it 3 times. 3 times Alex has made the same joke in the space of less than 20 minutes.
And I'll keep making the joke because it's funny.
Inside the mind of a genius right here. But yeah, it's basically the baby literally just doesn't know its abilities to crawl. Like it doesn't know that it would be unable to crawl on something that's that steep, and then it does it, and it just fucking falls. Hopefully the parent's there, or else that's not good. But it falls.
I mean, like that makes sense. Like they have the experience, they learn what it is, and then like over time they stop doing it, and they get a better like grasp of their balance. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's trial and error, and then it happens again when they learn to walk, because again they don't know, so they try and walk. They fucking fall. They're like, wow, that sucked. I'm not going to do that again. But they might do it a couple more times.
Right. Aaron, this being a podcast about our opinions, what do you think about this whole baby thing?
Oh, it's fucking funny. It's so funny.
All right, good. We'll just put the stamp of the funny on it.
Because they're fine. Like, a baby might cry because of it, but like overall, they're pretty fine. And like,
all right, I'm not gonna lie. I went on a hike with my family the other day, and like we were at this cool tower on this hill, and like there's like a historical site or something like that, and there was a family there, and there was like a little kid that was running around. He couldn't have been older than like maybe 2, so yeah, he's like probably less than 2, and he's like the parents can see him. He's running around. Obviously, it's like a little bit of a difficult terrain, if you will. And we're walking by. He looks at us. He waves at us, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, hi!" And he looks at us and just face plants fully, like into the stone floor that we're standing on. And this man just yeets himself onto the floor. And honestly, it was so funny. Like we helped him up and like brought him back to his parents.
Was he crying?
Were, like, really thankful. Oh yeah, he was bawling. He was screaming, but he wasn't screaming louder than we were laughing. Me and my brother were cracking up because it was so funny. Man was just tweaking so hard, and then he fell over. And it was just like, dude, you did this to yourself. Why are you upset?
Bro, because it hurts. His face hurts, dude. Damn, that sucks.
I bet it looked like it hurt.
My God, kids.
He was like running around and like obviously faster than he should have because he fell over, and like he looked like he knew that. He looked like he's like, oh, look at me, I'm running so fast, and then he fell over, and like we were laughing at him, not because he was in pain, but it was like the irony. You know?
But like, what little boy doesn't think it's super impressive how fast he runs? That is every single little boy.
That's true. That was actually me about 10 minutes ago. Talking about it. That was literally me 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's true. Every boy at some point in their life thinks they're running so fast, and people must be so impressed by how fast they're running. In elementary school, probably most of elementary school, there is clout to being the fastest boy in the grade.
That's super true. And I was definitely up there.
There's definite clout. There's also clout for being At least at our school, I know that there's clout for being able to kick the farthest.
Oh, yeah, that was a huge thing. Because kickball was a big thing when we were...
Kickball, but not even that. We would do this thing like...
Just on the soccer field. I remember that.
Yeah, we would do it in recess. Like, we just grab all the soccer balls and go out on the field and just try and kick it over the crossbar. I don't know why the fuck did we think that was so fun?
I don't know, but I definitely wasn't part. I remember that happening, but I wasn't at all part of that because I knew I couldn't kick it that far or that high.
Well,
and so I was just set on the side.
When you're 3'2", actually, that's not that bad of a height for that age. When you're 2'6", maybe I'll give you 2'6".
Do you know how tall people are?
No,
we were definitely taller than 2 foot.
Well, we were, but you weren't.
I wasn't that short, dude. I wasn't that short. Are we bringing this up this early on? This is what we're doing right now.
Bro, what can I say? You're short. You cheated. You cheated with HGH.
All right. Babies walking off cliffs? A thing that happens in psychology because of they just don't know how to handle inclines. Our opinion on it, funny.
Wow, way to swerve that topic.
Our opinion on that, funny.
It is funny, and it's fine. Babies don't die this way. Nobody get alarmed. Nobody dies this way.
Probably.
Not 100% guarantee.
No. You can sue us if that's not. if your baby. I'm done.
We are liable.
We are.
But my dad is a lawyer. I am Jewish, so my dad is most definitely a lawyer. So don't come at us, all right?
We are saying that we are liable, and you can sue us, but please don't.
Yeah, please don't. All right, we didn't create babies, okay? We don't own them.
We didn't. This is true.
At least I've never created a baby before.
I mean, me neither.
All right, then we're safe.
All right, cool. That was fun. I like that. Do we have time for one more?
We do have time for one more thing. I don't know why you said it like that, because this is probably our main thing. You dumbass.
I don't know. I was trying to think of a fun segue.
Fuck you. Okay, that's our
Thank
segue
you.
right there.
It was better than mine.
Yeah, boom, effective. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to talk through a hefty list of breakfast cereals, and we're going to give our opinion on each. If we're feeling it, we might give a top 5 at the end if we feel like we can grasp that, but if not, we're just going to cut through a list and tell you what we think.
Now, guys, I know we're getting into the deep stuff right now, and this is like the make or break for friendships, but like, you guys asked for it. We're taking on the big topics, and this is the kind of content that you can expect from us.
Yeah, we're gonna try not to cry during this, but feel free to let your emotions flow.
I teared up a little bit when I even just like thought that, like, oh my god, Aaron just said breakfast cereals. We're done. There's no way this podcast can get past this episode.
Guys, we're putting our friendship on the lines for you guys.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get in. All right, so the first thing we want to do is list just a few cereals that we know are relatively relevant, but we just don't give a fuck about them. And those cereals would be Wheaties.
Yep. No.
Grouped into that is also Frosted Mini Wheats.
Uh-huh.
Crave. Never even tasted it.
Definitely not.
Life. What's the difference between Life and Crave? I have no idea. Cornflakes? Fine.
Yeah, whatever.
They're kind of a nuisance to eat. Fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Kicks. Tricks, Fruity Pebbles. I feel like we can they're like fine.
Yeah, I can understand why people like them. Too sweet for me. And the last one you have on here is Corn Pops, and I've seen commercials for all of these 100%. Like I vividly remember like little breakfast guys like in the bowl like on TV. They would just be like doing some weird random stuff. And then it's like Crave or Corn Pops or like whatever. And like I always remember the commercial, but I never remember seeing an actual box of one of these things.
The only thing I have to say about any of these is that I'm pretty sure they used to call Corn Pops Sugar Pops like a while ago.
That's insane.
My dad used to eat the fuck out of them.
Did he like them?
And he ate them because he hated them, actually.
My bad.
He hated them so much that he was just going to eat them to show them who was superior.
That one's on
The
me.
biggest power play of all time.
I see where I went wrong, and I apologize, and it won't happen again.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's my word of advice to you. If you want to show somebody that you are superior to them, eat them.
Awesome. All right. That's on the record. That's
Yep. Eat them.
awesome.
Anyway, those are the ones that we just wanted to get out of the way right off the bat. And then we're just going to dive into our list here, and we're going to start with Apple Jacks. Immediate
All right.
thoughts.
Apple Jacks? Awesome. They're like your discount Cinnamon Toast Crunch Fruit Loop. Not discount, but like
No, don't
they were like a
disrespect them like
combination
that.
of what I liked about Fruit Loops and what I liked about Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I wouldn't like look for like, oh, thank God it's Apple Jacks, but I'd be like, Apple Jacks, I can get some of that.
Yeah, I would say the same. Honestly, a lot of my experience with breakfast cereals comes from summer camp, so a lot of it is probably going to be from that scope. And Apple Jacks was my go-to for a while. Like, I don't need milk to eat Apple Jacks. I honestly prefer them without milk. They're just super tasty. They have the cinnamony taste, but they're not too cinnamony. They're nice. You know, you get a nice crunch when you chew into them. I would eat a bag. of them.
Yeah, I could eat it back too. Let's move on.
Yeah, okay. Next on our list is Captain Crunch. I'm just gonna tell you right at the bat, I fucking love Captain Crunch.
I'm not a huge crunch guy.
What?
All right, here's the thing about me that now the entire world needs to know, that obviously you know about me. I'm not a huge sweets person, huge sugar person. So the fact that we're talking about breakfast cereal at all is kind of hard for me, and I'm trying. I'm doing my best here.
Everybody calm down, stop yelling. I know I shouldn't be friends with him anymore, but I still am. It's okay.
I don't know why. I would understand why you wouldn't. And unfortunately, Captain Crunch, too sweet for me. It's just a little too sweet for me.
I understand that for you.
So I'm gonna have to pull my opinion out of a lot of these, but I'm still gonna put it in anyway because I don't care. Captain Crunch is too sweet for me.
Captain Crunch can easily go into my top 5 cereals. There's no question. With milk, without milk, absolute fire. Any day, any time of day, put those things in my mouth. I love Captain Crunch. It's just, there's something so satisfying about putting a whole bunch of them in your mouth and just chewing. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else I can say other than great cereal. Easily 8 out of 10. I would probably put it at 9 out of 10. I love that cereal.
Yeah.
However,
Okay.
if we're talking about Crunch Berries, I think a lot of people...
We weren't talking about Crunch Berries.
but
we were talking about Captain Crunch.
Okay,
but
but
if you want to talk about Crunch Berries, we can.
Thanks for ruining my segue. Nice. I think a lot of people...
Make a better segue.
That was a good one. And you decided you wanted to ruin it. Anyway.
You mean make it better. Go ahead.
Anyway, I think a lot of people like Crunch Berries better than Captain Crunch. I could be wrong, but I have that sense, and I don't like Crunch Berries.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you.
I would prefer no Crunch Berries ever. I
also like who would you ever meet and be like favorite breakfast cereal, and they're like Crunch Berries.
Fucking nobody. No one. Who? No, I just don't understand.
I had to look it up. I had to look it up just to make sure that we were on the same page about it.
I just don't understand why you would put Crunch. It just.
Yeah, no.
I don't know why you put those in there. It's not for me. It's just not for me.
As we keep going, Aaron, you're obviously a little bit more versed than me in this. You're going to have to explain the difference to me between Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios, because they appear to be two different things.
They are most definitely two different things. How do I describe this?
I don't eat a lot of cereal, and this is definitely not on the list. It's not that I don't like it. It's just like I stick to the stuff I like.
Have you ever seen? Man, so Cheerios, normal Cheerios, come in the yellow box. They don't really taste like much.
Okay,
right?
yeah. They're not. It's not that like they're bland. It's just that they're
they're bland.
The basic.
They're pretty bland, but Honey Nut Cheerios. Anybody. I can't believe I have to explain this. This is insane. Honey Nut Cheerios come in like a golden box, and they have a little bit of a glaze on them, and they definitely have like a taste when you eat them. Like they definitely have a sweet
my
taste.
bad. The difference between a yellow box and a golden box. That one's on me.
If you look at literally anyone in the world knows what I'm talking about, and you are the only person.
Not me.
You're the only person in the
That's why I asked. I asked
universe.
so nicely. I asked
Anyway,
so nicely.
Cheerios are nice because they're basic and, pretty like fine taste. You'll eat them. I can't imagine anybody saying no to Cheerios. They're pretty universal.
That makes sense.
Honey Nut Cheerios are sweeter. And
okay. All right, that makes sense.
Definitely would, it depends on the mood. Sometimes I just don't want the sweetness. Sometimes I'll go for it. I would definitely eat like Honey Nut Cheerios without milk. I would hesitate to eat regular Cheerios without milk. Yeah, I think that Honey Nut Cheerios is a choice over Cheerios, regular Cheerios if you can. I can't fathom the conversation I just had. I can't. It's ridiculous what I just had to do.
Thank you. Actually, no, I take that thanks back. You were really mean about it, and I was really nice about asking. I
was really nice about it.
The
difference between yellow and gold, what's the... Yeah, that was really kind of you.
No, in the beginning, I was like, I don't know the difference. You're clearly more versed in this, so I'm trying to like cordially ask you.
I know, and I was nice until you started mocking me for saying yellow versus golden. That was when I turned the switch. Anyway, Frosted Cheerios. Alex, you probably don't have much to say on this. I'm just going to make it really quick. Frosted Cheerios, probably not many people eat them. They are fire. You should look into it if you don't know about it. Tasty stuff. On to the next cereal. Chex.
No.
No?
Nah.
I have a weird memory of Chex. My sister, she loved soggy cereal. So she would put Chex in a bowl with milk and let it get really soggy, and then take one of those giant spoons with holes in them. I don't really know what the real use for them is, so they're just giant spoons with holes in them for this purpose, and just spoon out the soggy fucking Chex and eat that up. And it was appalling.
All right, here's the next in a long line of things to come of confessions about myself that are related to what we're talking about. I eat my cereal dry, and I cannot relate to soggy cereal. And clearly you're not a fan of this extremely soggy cereal, but I don't eat any of my cereal with milk in it. And
why are we even having this conversation?
Because I don't know, we've never eaten breakfast together. Anytime we've ever hung out or like we stayed over, you just like wake up at like 12 in the afternoon and we don't have breakfast. This is why this has never come up.
That's because if we fall asleep at 4 or 5 a.m., I'm not waking up at 8 a.m. like you lunatics.
Okay.
I need to sleep.
Okay. 8 a.m. is a strong term. It's like 10, maybe 11.
Okay, even 10.
A time okay for breakfast. Bottom line, I don't drink. I don't have milk in the bowl. I'll have milk on the side, but like I don't like the cereal to be wet at all. And like obviously, like it's all going down the same pipe and everything. Like I understand that. It's just Okay,
well, you don't need to eat it with milk in order to have opinions on all of these, but I can eat Chex. For me, Chex is like same area as Cheerios. Like I could have it on any given morning if I want to, if I can't find anything else to eat.
Yeah, same. But like at the same time, I wouldn't go out and buy Chex. Like let me rephrase that. I wouldn't be like looking like, oh, here's this cereal that I like. Here's this cereal I like. Oh, thank God, Chex. Here's Chex. And then like I get the Chex and I put it in my shopping cart.
If I was just buying for my life, like just to live, I probably would. Just so I could eat it some mornings.
Interesting.
I don't mind it. But let's move on to the next cereal, which is Chips Ahoy. I honestly don't have much to, like everybody gasses up Chips Ahoy.
That's true.
I
hear a lot about it. I don't eat it myself, but I've definitely heard a lot of people just being like, oh, Chips Ahoy, I love Chips Ahoy, and just like
the concept is great, but for me, it never banged that much.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea, but like it's got to be like the audience has to be like, I want my cookies in my milk, but I want that for breakfast, and it to be okay. It's a very specific audience.
But a lot of people love that. It's just not. It just never struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
But what did strike a chord with me? Segue. Don't mess this one up, please. Cocoa Puffs. I love Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
I know you have nothing to say about Cocoa Puffs, so I'm just gonna sum Cocoa Puffs up real quickly. if you actively dislike Cocoa Puffs, Alex, I'm trying to leave you out of this. If you actively dislike Cocoa Puffs, something is wrong with you.
I don't like chocolate.
I know. I'm leaving you out of this, all right? Let me just... Cocoa Puffs are amazing. So tasty. They're basically a dessert. Let's just be honest. They're basically a dessert. They're so good. At my summer camp, you used to have to go in and set the tables and get the cereal for your table. And there's only a certain amount of Cocoa Puffs. And kids would sprint to the mess hall, sprint to that thing in order to make sure their table got the Cocoa Puffs. It was a bloodbath in there for breakfast cereal. That's how good Cocoa Puffs are. My God. Enough said. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Go, Alex.
Oh, this is the lifeblood. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is 1 billion% what I go to the grocery store to get if I'm getting cereal. I understand, like we were talking about, like, oh, Apple Jacks is nice because like it's not too cinnamony. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is too cinnamony, and I like it. Even though I don't like a lot of sweet stuff, this is one of the things that I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. That's the yeah. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. End of story. Period.
What the fuck was that? That was that was some of the weirdest shit I've heard.
Oh yeah, that's how much I feel. That's how great I feel about it. Like that's the stuff. If I was hypothetically in this camp of yours, I would have done the same thing for Cinnamon Toast Crunch, even if there was a bloodbath or not.
Fair enough. I don't feel that strongly about Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I can vibe with you for it.
Yeah, that's super cool. You're wrong, but that's cool.
You're just aggressive. Just aggressive.
I'm not aggressive about a lot of things, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that's the good. That's the good. And
oh my God, wait. Was I saying Chips Ahoy instead of Cookie Crisp?
I don't think so.
Because I wrote Chips Ahoy and I meant to say Cookie Crisp. Okay, good. Because I'm looking on the list we wrote down now and I wrote Chips Ahoy, but I meant to say Cookie Crisp the whole time. So if I made that mistake and people were cringing really hard, that's totally on me.
Yeah, that's your bad.
It's my bad. Anyway, Frosted Flakes. Oh yeah. I eat that constantly at school. It is super tasty, super sweet. Load that shit up with milk. The milk becomes sugary. It's just goodness.
I know. I'm sad. It's just a little too sweet for me. And I can respect that other people like it, but it's just a little too sweet for me.
Yeah, sucks.
Also,
Sucks.
But the mascot, what's his name? Tony the Tiger. He's cool.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He can get an invite. He's cool.
That dude fucks. That dude fucks.
I'd hang out with him.
Oh hell yeah. All right, we're going to the next cereal. We're trying to keep it swift here.
Yeah. Cool. Lucky Charms.
I would only ever eat it for the marshmallows. I don't think that really even has to be said, but
on my like mental list, Lucky Charms is like my number 3rd.
Really?
Like here's the I just had really good memories with Lucky Charms. I wouldn't eat them now. Let's be clear. I would only eat them now if I had to. Like I'd still enjoy it, but I'd never look for it just because of like these weird like the memories. Like what I would do when I was younger is that like it comes like with the oats and the marshmallows, right? And what I would do is I would obviously the marshmallows are the best part. I would separate them in my bowl. I would separate the oats onto one side. I couldn't be capping. I couldn't be lying about this. I separated the oats onto one side and the marshmallows onto the other side. And the first thing I would do is eat all of the oats at the same time. And like, it's boring. They're just oats. They don't taste like anything. And so I just grind through and just eat the oats. And just like, man, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. And finally, when I'm done with all the oats, I get like 2 or 3 full spoonfuls of marshmallows. And I don't know. It was like a really satisfying payoff. But now that I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't just spoon feed myself marshmallows. Like that sounds insane. But it was a nice memory. And I'm glad that I had it. And Lucky Charms will always hold a special place in my heart, but I could never do that again.
I'm saluting you right now.
Thank you
for your efforts.
Thank you.
It was soldier.
It was hard. Like there were some dark days that like, oh man, there's just too many oats in here. But every time I would push through and I would get to my marshmallows.
Honestly, for me, it was like I would try and make sure every bite had 1 marshmallow. But they're like fine for me. I don't really feel too special about them. Also, I'm looking through the list of cereals, and there is one that says Chips Ahoy, and that's why I wrote down Chips Ahoy. So it's not just me, it's this goddamn list of cereals. I'm not a psychopath. Anyway, let's move swiftly on to Fruit Loops. I honestly don't love Fruit Loops that much.
Fruit Loops,
I'd rather eat Apple Jacks.
I love Fruit Loops. I love Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are great. They're probably my number 2. Like Cinnamon Toast Crunch top, Fruit Loops second. They're consistent. They're good. They're not too sweet, and they're fun colors. They don't taste different, but they feel like they taste different, and I like that.
That's interesting. I would rather go with Apple Jacks. I just like I feel like Apple Jacks are Fruit Loops that taste better and aren't multicolored, which makes me uncomfortable.
No, Aaron, you drive a hard bargain, and I'm sold. Apple Jacks is now number 2. You've done it for me, actually.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. And next on to Special K. Special K is actually the cereal I eat most days now.
Really?
I like it.
Why?
I just like it. Oh my god, I forgot a cereal that we didn't put on this list, but I'll talk about it right after this one. I just like Special K. Like, it tastes good. It's satisfying to eat. It feels pretty healthy to eat. I don't feel like a piece of shit for eating it. I don't feel like this is technically cereal, but it's actually candy.
like my Lucky Charms marshmallows.
Yeah, precisely.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm. And then the cereal we forgot to put on here is Rice Krispies, which is a crime. Rice Krispies is a classic.
Is it?
Listen into the snap, crackle, and pop. That shit is real.
That's true. Those guys are cool. They can hang out.
Yeah. But the only other thing I want to say about Rice Krispies is that I always get a weird taste in my mouth after I'm done eating Rice Krispies.
You think you're like?
I don't like it.
Do you think you're like allergic?
No, it's just the aftertaste. I don't like it. I'm not fucking allergic to Rice Krispies.
You shouldn't have an aftertaste. It shouldn't be like a bad aftertaste on something that you like.
It's just the mix. It's just the mix. I know. That's why it's sort of got a tinge.
Okay.
I have to brush my teeth after I eat it. Okay. Reese's Puffs? No.
No. But, you know, again, like, Aaron doesn't like them. Chocolate and stuff for me. Not a fan. But that wrap, though? That wrap from, like, what was that?
Reese's Puffs.
Yeah. That one.
Don't copyright strike me.
Which is why I wasn't planning on saying it. But that old wrap, though, that wrap was sick. And I'll always respect Reese's Puff and never eat it.
It's just weird. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but I don't want to eat Reese's Puffs.
Interesting.
But that's just life. And
no, it's not life. We already talked about life. This is Reese's Puffs.
Oh, badjokes.net.
And for some reason, you also put down, there's no way this is real. This says Oreo-O's.
Oh, it's real as fuck.
There's no way that's real.
And let me preach. Let me preach to you, because they are fucking so good. They are so good.
This is just a snack that's been labeled breakfast. These are just Oreos.
Okay. Let me give you a caveat. I don't ever eat them in the morning. I eat them at 3 a.m. when I'm sitting in my bed and I'm just shoveling them out of the box. They're a late night snack. They're super tasty. Anyone who has eaten both Frosted Cheerios and Cocoa Puffs, just put them together and you've got Oreo-O's. It is immensely tasty.
I see what you're saying. I don't respect it, and that's weird.
My mom hates me for getting them, but they're so good.
If I was your mom, I'd do the same thing.
Don't knock it until you try it. That's all I'm going to say. I fucking love it. It's so good.
All right. You want to hit a quick top 3?
Sure, we can hit a quick top 3. That's tough. I think we each get to pick one that's definitely in there, and then we'll decide on a third one. So for me, my definite has to be Cocoa Puffs.
Okay, I can respect that. My definite has to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
And I think we can together agree that Apple Jacks comes in.
It's weird because, like, it's not that it's the best. It just so happens that it's just mutually better than other things.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is, you know?
It's just the way it is. That's life.
No, it's not life. Thanks for setting me up for that one.
Yeah, you weren't fast enough.
I tried. So yeah, those are our top 3 in no exact order,
and on no professional opinion or anything like that.
Yeah, but it's ours. So, boom, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cocoa Puffs, Apple Jacks. Eat it, literally.
Yeah. What was it to eat it to assert dominance? What was it?
It's assert dominance over anything. Just eat it.
Yeah, and it looks like we've come full circle.
Yep. This is We've done everything we needed to do for this episode.
Well, how do you want to end it?
I can wrap it up.
Go for it.
Thanks for listening. If you have any submissions for possible topics, unpopular opinions, rankings, or anything you want us to talk about, you can send an email to whoaskedcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at whoaskedcast. All right, bye.
Oh, I should say bye too. See you guys.
Nice. That's it. Cut it.